Welcome to BigBossBattle.com. My name is Removal Sanity, and today we are looking at Blob from developer THQ Nordic, and this is being reviewed on the Xbox One X. So what is Blob? The game itself was originally released on the Wii in around 2008. THQ Nordic has recently ported it over to the consoles with a variety of upgrades such as HDR and high quality graphics, including better frame rates and better level design. The premise of the game is quite simple. The evil Inc. Corporation, led by the dictator Comrade Black, has drained all colour from Chroma City, turning it into a drab monochrome metropolis. It has also turned all its citizens, which were diverse and colourful, into Radians, these sullen, homogeneous grey people. You start as the main character called Blob, who joins forces with a resistant movement called the Colour Underground to bring colour back to Chroma City and liberate its people. The game has 10 large story levels and also a free paint mode, which allows you to go around and paint the towns and areas without any enemy AI. It also has a 4-player co-op mode. So let's get on to the gameplay. The basic goal of each level is to paint part of Chroma City, and by doing so, gradually free the city from the colourless grip of Incorporation. Doing this allows you to also relinquish and free the citizens. As you paint the area, the colour energy level increases, and you'll need to reach a certain total in each section before you can open the gate to the next. I will say that in story mode there is always a clock ticking down, but this is not a high pressure game. The way to build up the clock again is so easy, you never actually feel under threat, but it does help keep the focus of the game's most enjoyable aspect, and that is painting the town. Now, Blob is actually transparent and starts the level off without any colour, but he needs colour to actually paint the level. Thankfully, there's lots of paintballs which are crawling around the levels, and they have tanks of different colours on their backs. Now, by smashing into one of these, Blob becomes coated with the paint. Each paint spot you smash nets you 10 paint points, which can go up to a maximum of 100. Now this works both as his health and an attack strength, as certain foes require a certain number of paint points before they can be defeated. Now the more paintballs you smash, you also get bigger as well, and this is actually helpful because the bigger you are, it means that you can touch things easier and provide broader strokes and paint areas quicker. Now zooming around restoring colour to the city is really fun, basically because it's so visually impressive as well, and it also means you can choose what colours areas you wish to paint, and this is one of the most fun things for you to do. Now it's all good and fun turning grey into different shades of colour, but the devs actually have thought about something else. This isn't just the only thing you can do. Throughout each section of the city there are challenges that give you specific goals to fulfill, lending some structures to otherwise unstructured experience. There are 4 types of challenges. First of all is races, which require you to hit a series of checkpoints in a limited amount of time. There's a combat challenge involving you to take out specific enemy AI or equipment. There's also landmark challenges where you must hit the weak points of specific structures and commandeer that building using a variety of specific paints. And the last one is also restoring landmarks to their former glory, and that's to do with picking up a certain number of paint and diving into the building and taking control of it. Once you completed any one of these challenges, you're rewarded with time, which helps increase your ever-dwindling clock. Also, you get released the Radians, who are all grey at that point, so going over them colours them back to their original colour and turns them back into happy people, which also is a bit of a bonus. The control system for Blob is actually quite simple. However, the more advanced skills are a bit trickier to pull off and need a bit more timing. However, once you get the timing down, you'll pretty much be able to fly around the actual level pretty quickly, bouncing here and there and everywhere. The combat system is also really easy to use as well. Basically, Blob targets an enemy and then he jumps on top of them with a single button press and smashes them into the ground. This is really simple and effective. Now, however, the developers have added in a few enemy types which can only be defeated by using certain colours, and so this does give it a little bit more of a challenge rather than the simple enemy types that populate the air levels. Some of the enemy AI also have enemy weapons that, if hit you, will get you black inked. Now, if you get black inked, your life will slowly dissipate until you die. The only way to get rid of this black ink is to actually wash it off at a nearest fountain. So you have to try and keep an eye on a fountain wherever you go. There is also the odd hazard in the levels themselves, this which will pour off black ink, and that's exactly the same thing. If you get inked, leg it to a fountain as quick as possible before the timer runs out and before you die. Now, whilst I will say this game is incredibly fun to play, and to see the actual city go from grey to different colours is beautifully designed, there is the odd issue, and this is to do with the camera design. The camera can be a little unruly, so when you're trying to time jumps, sometimes it just doesn't work. You have to try and push the camera where you wish so you can see. This can be though updated with a patch and is a very minor thing. Generally the camera's okay, there is just some always instances where it doesn't help you. So what about the graphics? Well, this is being ported from the Wii. Now, the Wii did have some visual treats, but it is here where it really shines, and especially on the Xbox One X. The HDR really brings this game out, and it is a visual treat for the eyes. This is beautiful for the younger generation and for the old generation. It is absolutely stunning seeing something that's grey and drab and turning into something so beautiful and colourful as you go around the level doing different side quests and painting different buildings. This is a beautiful visual treat. I can't tell you if this is 4K or 1080p because I don't have the actual equipment for it, but I would say that there is no particular issues with frame rate drops or anything like that, when even with variety of enemies on the screen at once, or if you're doing the old 4-player co-op mode. The draw distances are a little bit limited, so I suspect it probably is about 1080p because of that. Overall though, you're not really going to worry too much about that. This is a visually beautiful game that I'm sure anyone playing it will be just happy bouncing around and looking at all the different colours. So this leads me on to the sound of the game, and the sound is terrific as well, with the characters speaking a cute and funny gibberish language which you don't really understand. The funky music selections which you choose from before each level provide dynamic accompaniment to the action. The exploding with sound each time you paint something and building up gradually the colour, which is more restored to the area. Everything here does sound beautiful, and it really has a nice crispness to it as well. The best way I would say is probably through a headset, but if you have a decent sound system, this will translate well onto that as well. So what do we think here at Big Boss Battle of the Blob? Well, I can tell you, me personally, I am giving this a big thumbs up, and this is for the following reasons. The game is really good size with 10 very large levels that will take you roughly about an hour a piece to complete them. It is incredibly fun to play, and seeing the world transform as a result of your efforts is incredibly rewarding. The little visual cutscenes are fantastic to watch, and the storyline is really perfect, and it's perfect for fun for children as well as adults. Now, there is the odd issue with the camera now and then, but overall this is a fantastically beautiful game and fun game to play with. It's currently out on the Microsoft Store for £16 or about 18 US dollars, and for that I think it is well worth the price tag. What you get in terms of gameplay and content, it is really good. This is going to be one for a Christmas present or a birthday present. I don't think adult alike or child would argue against it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed our review. Please do leave a comment in the comment sections. We do like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you again soon.